Volkswagen was initially a state-owned automobile company under the rule of Adolf Hitler, operated by the German Labour Front, a Nazi organization. The company was later renamed Volkswagen, which means the people's car. Volkswagen was headquartered in Wolfsburg, Germany. In addition to Hitler's ambitious campaign to build a network of autobahns and limited-access highway across Germany, his pet project was the development and mass production of affordable yet speedy vehicles that could sell for less than $140 at a time. In order to achieve this objective, Hitler contracted an Australian automotive engineer. However, due to the World War II, Volkswagen had to halt production. After the war, with the ruins of the factory, the Allies would make VW the focus of their attempt to bring back German auto industries. Part of Volkswagen was later privatized, and sales grew and exceeded the bonds of Germany. Volkswagen is facing some very interconnected yet different challenges grouped into 5 scenarios, which my team and I are going to analyze and provide strategic advice to help solve these problems.
VW is looking forward into getting to a contract which will ensure that it gets to supply Tesla, BMW, Toyota and other global phone manufacturing industry with £50 billion worth of cobalt. They want to do this with one or multiple suppliers, supplying them with 55,000 metric tons of cobalt, growing by 25% per year for 10 years. And only artisanal miners can supply this quantity, as it's too much for industrial miners.
As reported, VW is being supplied by artisanal miners from the DRC. They may pay less amount of money because artisanal miners do not correspond with laws such as minimum wages and taxes. However, there is an ethical predicament associated with this, as artisanal miners exploit workers, young children, and they don't pay taxes. Additionally, VW can suffer from serious reputation damages with this type of suppliers, and this can even lead to tarnishing the image. Lastly, this can lead to lawsuits, which are very costly. Team Hope would like to advise Volkswagen to consider revising their proposals to the legal mining firms in DRC and establish a consensus which will benefit both parties significantly. This may be difficult because legal miners have higher prices of supplies, and that cannot benefit Volkswagen compared to the supplies from artisanal miners. Also, Volkswagen can consider combining cobalt with other substitutes such as nickel, as it is cheaper, which is $7 per 100 gram, than cobalt, which is $21 per 100 gram. And lastly, they can also consider other supplies from other countries like Canada and Philippines as potential dealers.
Panasonic offers the most excellent quality at the cheapest price with the lowest shipping costs, and they also have a lot of different branches, which makes it easier for them to acquire supplies. So dealing with Panasonic, VW can also meet the competitors' benchmarking that reveals that the most popular electronic cars has a battery range of 120 kilometers and a lifespan of 160,000 kilometers, although this is already overtaken by Tesla that has 240 kilometers of battery range. Reviews about cars have shown that the battery range of 240 kilometers that Tesla has can expose drivers to a risk of overspeeding and is addictively fast. Moreover, the contract of Panasonic also offers the just-in-time methods, meaning that VW can benefit from producing to order, thus reducing the opportunity cost of holding stocks.
With e-mobility scenario, VW aims to produce 3 million e-cars per year in order to fight competition with Tesla and to become the world's largest producer of electronic cars and all cars in general. However, to achieve this, they need to find reliable EVP batteries producer, and they have already lost the opportunity with Panasonic, which is Tesla's battery producer, since they invested too much in fuel and diesel combustion engines. So now what's the advantage? If VW continues to invest in diesel and fuel combustion cars, they will not suffer from the opportunity cost of waiting for EVP batteries, which is the return of investing in fuel, in diesel and fuel combustion. And they already also have the necessary resources to produce all. However, in doing this, they will not be able to work towards the strategy of 2025, which is to produce 3 million electronic cars. Moreover, with the upcoming environmental restrictions on carbon emission, VW will be effective in fighting competition, as going green is a good social responsibility.
In this scenario, VW is failing to meet a new threshold of carbon, which is 99 grams. Currently, they have 125 grams. Not meeting this new threshold will result in a levy of £600 million being levied on every car that is on their portfolio. And most of these cars that do not meet this threshold are the super premium cars. VW has three possible solutions to tackle this problem. The first one is to design, fit and test new engines at the cost of 19,500 million. This is advantageous as they may charge higher prices for these engines as they are completely new in the market. The second option is to modify the current engines for 11,500 million. This is advantageous as engineers do not have to work from scratch as they already have an idea of what they're working for. The third solution is to completely ignore this problem and make £500 million of profit before the 1% increase. However, this is problematic as they may suffer from bad reputation, which will lead to lost sales and loss of profits. Our strategic advice to VW is to take the second option as it is less costly and as it is asset-led. Also, VW can use the 2,200 million to pay for the fines as they make the new engines. They can also use debt finance to finance this new development of these engines. They should preferably look for debt finance that has low interest rates, and this is also advantageous as this loan will repay itself back as the new engines start bringing in profit. In the next scenario, VW wants to rationalize their product portfolio. They want to do this to safeguard the company from economic changes due to the no-deal Brexit. They also want to unlock 160 billion worth of pounds in the car industry. The board had suggested that they hold the production of the volume segment as it has been making losses. This is problematic as the volume segment has the cheapest cars, and this is VW's unique selling point. The board has also suggested that they reduce prices in emerging markets. This will be advantageous as there will be more sales as more people can afford cars. However, this means that low profits in the short term and more profits in the long term. After analyzing this data set, we've come to conclude that VW should find the price elasticity of all their markets and charge them accordingly, so as to harvest maximum profits and sales. Also, a strategic 2% increase is possible through the addition of value such as different car seats and advanced GPS.
With the strategy and cost optimization scenario, Volkswagen is looking to increase its long-term profitability. In so doing, the CEO of VW suggested two solutions. The first of which is to cut costs in a separate department, and the second is to remove the volume cars. By cutting costs, VW will be able to reallocate these resources to other profitable departments. However, they might need to lay off some employees, which is going to promote bad image about VW. By removing the volume segment, VW stands the risk of losing its identity, as it was initially formed to produce affordable but fast cars, as its name literally translates the people's car.